Okay, now here we are over at the Namecheap.com website. Now, if you remember in the previous video, this is where I came to register a domain name, and this is where I showed you if you want to register a domain name for your website, this is the place I recommend you go and use. Now, what I've done, I'm going to show you an example here of how to make your domain name point to your hosting server. So what that essentially means is when someone types in your domain name, whichever it is, www.yourdomainname.com, and hit and enter, it will go to your website. Currently, initially, when you first register a domain name, it doesn't automatically point to your website. You have to actually go in and point it to that website, and the process of that is called transferring your DNS. That's the domain name server. So I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So in this account, I've got to my account, which is pretty straightforward. Then what we want to do is go into the domain names, and I've got a list of them down here. And for my own privacy reasons, I'm not displaying what they are. But what I'll do, I'll click on one of them, which I'm happy to share with. I've already shown you is my personal blog domain. So I'll click on that one. And when you click on that, it'll take you into your managing domains section. And you get all these different options down here. What we want to do is go to the domain name server setup. And you quite simply click that. And then you'll find yourself at a page like this. Now, as you can see, I have already got the HostGator domain name servers set up to point this domain name, davidallen.co, to the HostGator server. So when you set up your hosting service with HostGator, what they do, they send you an email, and in that email they give you this information, okay? But by default, this up here would be selected, okay? And it would have the generic Namecheap hosting a DNS server address there. So all you do is select this one here, like I have there, and then you simply, I normally copy and paste them out of the email domain, because you'll notice that they're different by one digit. See, it's NS2089, and then usually the second one is NS209, one digit up, 90. So you paste those both in there, and then you hit Save Changes. I won't do that now because I've already done it. But what it does, it can take up to, as it says here, up to 24 hours to take effect. And it goes out, and eventually it can take up to 24 hours because it's got to update all the other hosting servers around the world. So it can take some time. Once that's done, once that's propagated, which is what the term they use, when you type in your newly registered domain name, it will point to your HostGator server, which is where you're going to host your domain name. Now you need to have your hosting set up before you can do this. Okay, there's nothing stopping you from registering a domain name first, but before you can go and change the domain name server, the DNS server addresses, of course you would obviously need to have a hosting service account in place so you actually have those DNS server addresses to point it to. So whether you use HostGator or some other hosting provider, they will provide you with this information in the email they'll send you when you've set up your new hosting account, which I showed you in the previous videos. So I think it's pretty straightforward there. I just wanted to show you that because this is one of those areas that seems to confuse a lot of people when it comes to setting up their own website, and hopefully I've kind of demystified that for you.